Hey there, and good afternoon, traders. This is Trader Tim from eMiniMine. Today's Monday the 13th of April, and doing a Monday market analysis video for the E-mini S&P. We are currently at the halfway back from highs to lows. We've talked about that for the last couple of weeks now, and as I look at the SPY and we look at that upward trend off of lows, we see that there is a little bit of a decrease in volume, and that was one thing we noted last week. Now, we did break Friday's low today, and we formed a bit of a hammer candle. And so what I'll be watching for tomorrow is a break of today's low. And if we can get that low break and trend through it, not just break by a tick and then reverse, then we should be able to see a little bit bigger of a sell-off. But if we hold today's low, and let's say tomorrow we gap up or we just move higher and start breaking above Friday's high, well, then there's a really good chance that we're just going to come up and break the 61.8 up here and sort of get a little bit more of a rally before rolling over. And the reason for that would be, on Friday we were in a very tight range. And I'll go to the 15-minute chart so you can see it a little bit better. So relatively speaking, Friday's range was pretty tight. And then today we ended down on the day, but not very far off of the open. And so by and large, today was kind of that V reversal where we move down intraday and then rally. But if you look at a bulk of the day, it was really just moving sideways. And so when you see that kind of price action, you can infer that there's a lot of participants on both sides, which means you have new shorts coming in here. You have people who bought at some point on the rally, and they could be selling. So that's two ways for the market to move down. You also have folks that are looking to buy and add to longer term accounts, or just feeling like the lows are put in, and so that's another participant who would be on the buy side. And then you have folks who are looking to the market to really just continue on in this trend, and they might be buying as well. So when you have these range bound days, you have to realize that there's a more balanced ratio of buyers and sellers. So if we move higher tomorrow, then a lot of the shorts, new shorts, would be getting stopped out, or at least be underwater. If we move lower tomorrow, folks that did put on short-term buys might be getting stopped out. And what will lift the market if we go lower is that longer-term investor coming in to buy. A short-term trader is not going to really have enough weight or momentum just with a few small positions to be able to really push the market. So the larger term trend is really determined by the long-term investor. So if we start going down and then all of a sudden we level off, or let's say if we draw from lows to highs, we come to the halfway back long and we're met with support there, and we start to, we just can't go lower, then that would be a sign that you have longer term investors, people thinking that it's a good opportunity to buy stocks at a discount, and those people would be jumping in. And so when you have a move above the high of Friday, then there's a really good chance that a lot of those shorts will start to initiate, those shorts being stopped out will start to initiate a rally. And we've had a handful of gaps on the move up here, and we've also had some little bit more volume come in the last couple of days. So This week, I'll be watching for either a pullback to the halfway back long and then a bounce, or just kind of moving a little bit higher to the 61.8. I would be somewhat surprised if we just sit here at this 50% and go sideways without moving above Friday's high or below today's low. So those two levels, those two breakpoints, are really good areas to watch and see. If we just break highs by a couple of ticks and roll over, well, then it's a good opportunity to short at highs. If you come down below lows and you just break today's low by a few ticks or a couple of points and then we rally, that's an opportunity to buy at lows. Now if we look at the 15-minute chart, the daily is here on the ES 27.8575. And if we draw from highs to lows, we can see the first 15-minute short has already traded. And just like if you're looking at a 512 tick chart for an entry, it's helpful to start on the 15-minute chart, draw that trend up. Okay, here we have a little bit of a downtrend, and then we bounce, and then coming over to the 512 tick chart to look for a smaller short setup to place your order. You can do the same thing starting in the daily time frame, then looking at the 15-minute chart for a little bit of confirmation. So as we see, we've got the daily level traded on Friday. We traded the first 15-minute setup, and then we sold off today, and we're sitting right at the full halfway back short on the 15-minute chart. So tomorrow, if we hold 27.71 overnight, we'll be looking for us to move lower, below today's low. If we move above 27.71 in the overnight, then we have a better shot of coming up and retesting Friday's high. And if we do punch through it easily, then there's a good chance that we can just kind of rip right to the, we'll just call it, the 2900 area up by this 61.8. So that's what I'm looking at this week, a little bit more bigger picture because we're at that bigger daily level. At the same time, I drew this high to low short. If we pull from the major swing low to swing high, you can see we're also sitting at that long. So again, you got buyers coming in, you got sellers coming in. We're kind of just moving sideways between these two 50% on the 15-minute. So watch for Friday's high or today's low as that breaking point. Other than that, the VIX still kind of on its slide down, gradually sort of rounding out or not dropping as fast, but we've fallen quite a bit from 85 all the way down to this 41. Tomorrow morning we'll be doing the Tuesday live trading session. You can check that out, and you can also check out the swing trading masterclass at the homepage, bottom of the homepage on eminimind.com. So thanks everyone. Questions, leave them below, and have a great week.